Very good morning to you all, dear students. So today we are going to start with the new topic under the Nagaland. Okay, so that is the topic of our discussion for today is the Nagas in the 20th century. The aim for our class is students will be able to understand what major changes took place in 20th century among the Nagas. Resources needed is your notebook and your Nagaland textbook. All right. All right. So first question here is what changes the lifestyle of the Nagas? What changes the lifestyle of the Nagas from a headhunters to a developing world? Okay, so you see that the first half of the 20th century, okay, it was an age of renaissance. Renaissance means revival, okay, for the Nagas. Okay, so it brought lots of changes in the first half of the 20th century. So they experienced great social and political change. So there was a great changes in social as well as the political system, all right, in Nagas. So from centuries of isolation means apart from other world, okay, in connection they were disconnected, all right, they were not in connection with the other world or the outside world, okay. So the Nagas suddenly they woke up to face a world that was fast changing, all right. This traumatic experience of change resulted in a cultural shock, means everybody was shocked because it bring a changes, okay, a sudden influence in the first half of the 20th century, where there was a changes in social system as well as the political system, right, in Nagas. Now for the first time, okay, in 20th century, the tribes the tribe they produce university graduates, doctors, engineers, and political thinkers. All those came up in 20th century, okay. So Western ideas and Western religion, Western music and philosophies began to influence the Naga world outlook. All right. So there were tries for greater and nobler things. Many of these factors were to lead the Nagas into a new era. Okay, so that is how changes took place in the 21st or 20th century. Okay, so the Nagas they were becoming more aware of the common ethnic identity since they realize the importance of unity. So unity is a must. For that very reason, unity was developed among the Nagas. Before they were tribalism. Tribalism in the sense they belong to their own tribe, okay, in their own district, in their own places. But now, after the 20th century, they became as one. So today you'll see that take the example that the different district that we have. You you talk about the Dimapur district, you'll see that in the Dimapur cities there are lots of mixed tribe, right? Live in unity. Even in Kohima it's the same. Likewise, Mokokchung or any other place. Okay, so beginning were made to delaying themselves for the tribalism of the past. Okay, so this lead to a new sense of nationalism. Okay, so belonging as one. So the first pan-Naga organization known as the Naga Club, it was formed in the year 1918. Okay, so it consisted of a few that when the Naga Club was formed in the year 1918, there were only few educated Nagas, okay, government officials, Dubashis and village headmen. So the club had meetings where social and political problems were discussed. All right, so the main objective of forming the Naga Club was regarding social and political, okay, problem that Nagas was facing. So they were trying to resolve that issue. All right. So I'm gonna show you some picture of okay, this is a or you can say that the modern Nagas are related with culture and tradition of the past. All right, you see that all this thing is not new. You will see them in okay, museum, even here, okay, state museum, or maybe you have one at home as well, okay. So this is how Nagas has opened up themselves to a new era of revolution, okay, where they have established, they have linked a culture with a modern world, okay. Our question here is, why did the Simon Commission came to India? Why did the Simon Commission came to India? For what purpose the Simon Commission was established? Okay, so you'll find even in your textbook that in 1929, okay, remember the year 1929, a British team known as the Simon Commission, they came to Kohima, okay, in the year 1929. So this commission was led by John Simon. That is mainly to study the possibility of reforms in India. Okay, so the Naga Club, they also presented a memorandum which demanded that the Naga Hills should not be included in the reform scheme of the government of India. Okay, so that is how they presented the memorandum to the Simon Commission. So as a result of this demand by the Naga Club, the British Parliament, they decided to treat the Naga Hills as an excluded area, in which means their demand was actually fulfilled by the Simon Commission, the British Parliament. So by this agreement, the Naga Hills was excluded from the reforms of the government of India. So in the same memorandum, you see that the Naga Club, they also stated that prior to the British, the Nagas had never been subjugated by any other people, which means prior to the British government, the Nagas were not following any they were not under control of someone else, okay. So thus, if the British were to withdraw, the Nagas should be left alone to chart their own political future and determine for themselves as an ancient times. So that is what the Nagas they believe. So if the British they left if the British they withdraw from the Nagas area, then Naga should be left independent. That is what the Naga believe. So however, the British they ignored this demand, which resulted in a great political unrest when they withdraw from the Naga Hills after ceding the area to India. Now after the British they left India, uh, they they okay, they did not agree with the demand of the Nagas, okay. That is how they left the area to the Indian government, okay. So you will see that Sir Sir Charles Pause, okay, that is the last British ambassador of Nagaland. He established an institution in 1945, which was called the Naga Hill District Tribal Council. Remember, it was the Sir Charles Pause, the last British ambassador of Nagaland, established an institution in 1945, which was called the Naga Hills District Tribal Council. Okay, so this tribal council did not last long. All right, so in a conference of representatives of the tribes that was held in 1946, its name was changed to Naga National Council. All right, so the old name of Naga National Council is the Hills District Tribal Council. Okay, so ultimately the NNC they emerged as the only political organization in Nagaland. So although its original aim was to foster the welfare and social inspiration of the Nagas, it gradually extended its activities to politics. All right, so it worked for the solitary for all the Nagas and also to achieve their political inspiration. All right, so question here is, what was the main objective of Naga National Council? As I've cited, okay, as I've cited, if you are listening to the explanation, what were the main objective of the NNC, Naga National Council? You'll see that the NNC they emerged, all right, as the only political organization in Nagaland. Okay, although its original aim was to foster the welfare and the social aspiration of the Nagas, it generally extended its activities to politics. All right, slowly and steadily, gradually, it extended its activities to politics. So it worked for the solidarity of the Nagas and to achieve their political aspirations. All right, so it started to work for the solidarity of all the Nagas and to achieve their political inspiration. Now, on the eve of India's independence, there was a political upheaval in Nagaland. Now, some British officials even suggested that the tribal areas of the northeast India and Burma form a crown colony. So, this meant that these areas will continue to be directly ruled by the British. However, this idea did not find favor within the Indian national countries or the tribal themselves, and therefore it never materialized. Right? So the NNC, they began to change its direction, especially when AZ Pizzo was elected its president. All right. So when AZ Pizzo was elected as its president, things started changing. All right, there was a change in the system of the Naga National Council. Okay, so the Naga National Council, they wanted now independence for Nagaland after the British left. All right, so this idea was rejected by the government of India. However, the Naga, they declare its independence on 14th of August 1947, because to this day we celebrate our Naga independence, that is one day ahead of the Indian government. Okay, that is on 14th of August 1947. So the NNC, they declared themselves independence, okay, after the British left. Now this even led to a series of conflicts between a group of NNC and the newly formed government of India. Because of that issue, there was several conflicts, okay, between the Indian government and the Nagas. So in 1956, the federal government of Nagaland, FGN, was formed by the NNC. All right, it maintained an army known as the Naga Army. There was only one army, we can known as the federal government of Nagaland. So before, in the later stage, there was no IM, there was no K unification or any other group as such. There was only one army known as Naga Army by the name FGN, Federal Government of Nagaland. Okay, so during the 1950s and 1960s, the Nagaland, they passed through a ring of terror. All right, when an undeclared war was waged between the Indian army and the Naga army. As a result of this war, see, many innocent villagers suffered the most. As the conflict became more severe, the Naga army went underground. Means they went for in a hidden area. Okay, now you see that if you want to know more about the the war that took place between the Indian army and the Naga army, you can ask your elder as well. Okay, they will know much better. You can ask your grandparents if you have so, or the old people. Okay, they were the one who have faced the consequences. They were the one who have experienced, all right, the reality of it. So they will be able to share in a clear perspective. Okay, and then in their own experience. All right, so you please do that. Okay, so thank you, have a good day. For today there is no things to do, okay, because in this particular topic the question was already given to you.